I want you guys to imagine my shock when I heard this news. I was like, not Hollywood. Not Hollywood, which has done so much for the LGBT community in the United States. With their both hands, those billionaires at Hollywood have helped save the LGBT community. And to see how they are now bending to China. No, I refuse to believe it. I had to go online and then yet here it was. Fantastic Beasts 3 gay dialogue removed in China. Warner Brothers say that the spirit of the film remains. But does it though? Does it really? You have been tainted by homophobismus, Warner Brothers. Which one of you was the homophobe? Which one of you removed the prestigious things from the movie? Which one of you should get fired? And by the way, it's not just homophobismus, it is also racismus. They modified the trailer for the movie. The poster, I mean. Sorry, not the trailer, my bad. They modified the poster. Because even though they don't have to censor it in China, they care about the money. They care about the finances. You see, China pays the homophobia tax. If you're rich enough, you can bypass progressive morality. You can be a bad person if you have money. Especially if you're a rich, wealthy nation like China, which is communist in nature. And they can do things that you cannot. See, you get to be lectured by the Hollywood royalty, by the Hollywood actors, about what a bad person you are for liking J.K. Rowling. What an evil bigot you are because you like J.K. Rowling. In fact, if you watch this movie, you're a bigot, right? You get to be lectured by them while they make deals with China. Isn't that progressive? Now, you might say that's hypocrisy. In reality, it's hierarchy. It's just because you're poor. They want you to stop being poor. They want you to see what good lives they're having and how they can do anything they want that you can't do. So they want you to get rich as well, get a job in Hollywood, work for someone like Harvey Weinstein, and then, maybe then, you can also do whatever you want. So apparently the references to gay relationship, you know what's even funny? It's like these gay relationships, exactly what Warner Brothers is saying, aren't adding anything to the spirit of the films. Like, they are not there to improve the story. The only reason they are there is to make a checklist. That is it. And you guys have seen with New Blizzard, you know, like coming out with a new black female character. And a lot of people were saying, it's like, yeah, it's almost like if you don't have that today, the game is not socially acceptable. And it's literally the same. Like, you can't have a movie unless it fits the checkboxes. And this is literally what people are upset, is the corporatization of art. It's like it's coming from an assembly lines, and they're looking at like, okay, does it have 2 wheels? Does it have enough lights? Is it, you know, like it's a checkbox. And you can't have art. You can't have passion. You can't have the soul if it's just like a checkbox. They didn't used to make movies like that 10 years ago. They didn't used to write books like that 10 years ago. I just want to make people absolutely understand what I'm trying to say here. I'm not against a movie that has gay characters in it, but I want it to be in the spirit of the film, like Warner Brothers likes to say. I want it to be in the spirit so that it actually adds something, so that it makes sense. But instead, what we get is the checkbox. And the checkbox, when I'm at the movie theater and I see the checkbox, it reminds me that I'm at the movie theater rather than that I'm getting an immersion event, that I'm trying to put myself into the shoes of the character and get into the action and be immersed in the world around me. I don't get that because I realize, okay, well, this is a corporation and the only reason they did this is to make money. They didn't do it because they genuinely believe that the movie is good or anything. And by the way, like, you guys remember back in the day, like, for example, when Aliens came out, is it just me or was it like the script writers, they didn't sit in a board meeting where they were looking at a whiteboard and they were like adding things, and it's like, okay, how can we create this movie? Like, what does the audience like to see? In fact, I will tell you this, like the new Matrix, the last one, they actually criticized exactly that. Like, they would go into this boardroom with Neo, and it's like, well, what do people want to see at the Matrix? Oh, well, they want to see bullet time. Bullet time, that's the word, bullet time. And they want to see, like, the red pill. Oh, man, but bullet time. That's not how you create movies. I mean, you can, but it's not great movies. But that's how they make it today. And this is why you have, like, I mean, honestly, like the Fantastic Beasts, this abomination of a thing, the only reason it exists is because Harry Potter was popular. But in reality, it's bad. It's a bad movie. Like, I watched the first Fantastic Beasts. I don't want to go for the second. And the only reason they keep making them is because it's profitable, and at the same time, they say that J.K. Rowling is a bad person, but at the same time, they do business with China. And they censor on behalf of China. Like, I'm not against them wanting to do business with China and censoring, but at least stop lecturing us and stop dissing on J.K. Rowling. Like, choose a side, for fuck's sakes. Well, actually, they chose a side. It's the size of money. So apparently only 6 seconds of the movie. It's besides the point. Like, if you think that these 6 seconds weren't needed, why are they in the movie to begin with? And again, like, these people, they would never have these 6 seconds 10 or 15 years ago when it would have been relevant to have them. They removed them now. They removed them now from China. But they're adding them in the US because, like, again, it's not adding anything to the movie. It's just like, we need to make the checklist. So Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, and by the way, like J.K. Rowling as well, she revealed the sexuality of Dumbledore, that he was gay, for the same reason. Like, if she was writing these books 30 years ago, I assure you, I am willing to bet that Dumbledore would not have been gay. Like, again, like, I have nothing against the fact if Dumbledore likes to suck cock or not. Like, this is not the question. The question is, did the author do this because she thought it's an interesting story, in which case I support it, or did she do this because she wanted to have the checkbox in order to make the story more acceptable in modern timeline? Warner Brothers accepted China's request to remove 6 seconds from the movie. The dialogue lines being, because I was in love with you and the summer girl and I fell in love were cut. The rest of the film remained intact. By the way, I'm literally curious. I have a question for Twitter. If someone was to buy the Chinese version and translate, would that be homophobic or not? Like, if I buy the Chinese version and I watch it with subtitles just to avoid watching the Western version, am I homophobic? Would you call me out? Would you want me to get fired? Yes? Then why aren't you complaining about China? Why aren't you having the exact same standards across the board? That is the question that I have. Anyway, really curious to know what you guys think. And I'm going to go do my live stream now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.